Does this work?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. It's a beautiful day for a rally, first of all. So thank you, the gods, for sending us sunshine and warm weather.
Yes.
The U.S.-China relationship, as described by President Obama and President Hu today, is intended to be positive, cooperative, and comprehensive. Last week, Secretary Clinton elaborated on this description, and she said a lot. She said that the United States and China will be judged on the outcomes the relationship produces for global peace, prosperity, and progress. She said the United States and China need to deal with differences and with disagreements, such as on human rights, wisely and responsibly. But of all that she said, her call on American leaders to be clear-eyed, grounded in reality, focused on results, and true to American principles is the bit that reminded me of Hillary Clinton, the American leader. And it's the bit, I hope, was ringing in President Obama's ear today when he was talking to Hu Jintao. Over the last several weeks, we human rights advocates have been urging the Obama administration to adopt a coherent human rights architecture, well integrated throughout our engagement with China. We believe such an architecture can contribute to justice for the Chinese people, for Tibetans, Uyghurs, Taiwanese, Burmese, Southern Mongolians, and Americans who need China to be a responsible international actor whose conduct at home and in the international community is based on the rule of law. We have urged the administration to continue to press China to live up to its obligations as set forth by the United Nations in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and to take critical steps towards political reform. We know the administration has listened to us because the president repeated those words in the press conference today. Yay! Secretary Clinton has said that the United States will continue to speak out and press China when it censors bloggers and imprisons activists, when religious freedom is denied, when lawyers are sent to prison simply for representing clients who challenge the government's positions. The United States will call for the release of political prisoners and for the rights of all people to express themselves freely. This is the approach that we endorse, and this will make for interesting conversation at lunch at the State Department today. Sorry, first page. We have also called on President Hu to end China's occupation policies in Tibet and to respond to the legitimate grievances of the Tibetan people. President Hu could change the lives of 6 million Tibetan people by responding to the cry that has gone up across the Tibetan plateau for the return to Tibet of their natural leader, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Tibet need not be a vexing problem for China. Intense engagement between China and the Dalai Lama could produce constructive results immediately. And we are gathered here today because we are focused on immediate results. Hundreds of Tibetan political prisoners are waiting to be free. Hundreds of thousands of Tibetan nomads are being forcibly relocated off their lands. Thousands of Tibetans are freezing in tents as Chinese central planners imagine the rebuilding of their city after last spring's devastating earthquake. The U.S.-China summit is a critical opportunity for President Obama to press President Hu for a resolution on Tibet, where tensions between Chinese and Tibetans have led to a dangerous cycle of unrest confrontation, and repression. President Obama has done so. He has demonstrated his support for the Dalai Lama and his middle way approach. He can still do more, but only who has the authority to set a new policy for Tibet that acknowledges and addresses the injustices, inequities, and the inequality between Chinese and Tibetans. This is what the Tibetan people want.
Yeah!
This U.S.-China summit is the right time and the right place to tackle Tibet. We ask President Obama today to secure a commitment from President Hu on the immediate resumption of the dialogue between Chinese officials and the Dalai Lama's representatives, so that a solution for Tibet can be agreed upon and Tibetans and Chinese can live together in peace and prosperity. We know that Chinese leaders believe that political reform could shake the stability of China. But as Tendor said, look at Tunisia. Open your eyes, man. Last week, the Tunisian president was forced to flee following street protests that gained in energy every time they were brutally suppressed. Denying the people the right to express their discontent is the tipping point that you don't want in Tibet, President Hu. And if China wants to be a force for anything but brute force, if China wants to be a force for peace, prosperity, and progress across the globe, then it must seize the chance and change course in Tibet. President Hu, harmony cannot be dictated from on high. It is derived from peaceful coexistence. It is the result of an enlightened mind. We urge you to reject the distortions you perceive and engage His Holiness the Dalai Lama so that you can fully understand the difficulties faced by the Tibetan people and find a solution for Tibet based on their wants, their needs, and the common interests of all who live across the Tibetan plateau. And President Obama, tonight, as you fetch the Chinese president at the state dinner, we ask you to be mindful that the man to whom you raise a toast has the future of Tibet in his grip. Billions of yuan from the Chinese treasury will not do as much for the Tibetan people as you can do by remaining clear-eyed, grounded in reality, focused on results, and true to the principle that all human beings are born with inalienable rights and fundamental freedoms, that the will of the people is the basis of the authority of government, and that the recognition of these rights and freedoms by government is the foundation for peace and justice in the world.